Take it away, let's get started. I'd like to call the Development Review Board meeting to order for Tuesday, June 4th. I guess the first thing we need to do is approve the minutes from the last one.
Yes. Do we have a motion?
You want to make a motion?
No, I wasn't here. Sorry about that.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
I will second.
Catherine,
This is Kat.
Kat has seconded.
I just had a question though, actually. I just hold on. The address on Bennington, is it 232, 236 in both places? In that paragraph at the beginning, it says 232 to 236, and then the paragraph below, it says 134. Are they supposed to be the same?
I believe it's both 232 to 236.
Right, yes.
Okay, so if we can, make that motion and second with that one correction, so the 134 to 136 becomes the 232.
To 236 for Benmont. Okay. All right, so Catherine has been moved and seconded. And Charlie, do you want to call the question?
How do we want to vote? Approve?
Approve. Catherine, do you vote to approve?
Yes.
Okay, so that's 4 votes to approve. No,
One
so thank you.
abstention.
3 with one abstention. Abstention, okay. All right, so the other thing we have to do this evening is we do have a sign-up sheet over there at the podium, and it includes a oath statement. So if you do present information to the board this evening, we ask you to sign that sign-up sheet, and it includes the following statement. I solemnly swear or affirm under the pains and penalty of perjury that the statements I make, testimony I give, and other evidence I submit to the board at the board's public hearing held on this date shall be true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. So that's over there. And so if you do want to speak to the board this evening, we ask you to sign that. One other bit of business before we start the hearing this evening is, and I hope we don't have any, disclosure of any ex parte communications or conflicts of interest regarding the matter this evening. And seeing none, Kat, you don't have any?
None.
None,
No.
okay, great. So Kat doesn't have any either, so thank you, Kat. All right, we do have one hearing this evening. It's 452 Morse Road. The applicant is seeking approval for Tier 2 indoor cannabis cultivation. And the reason it's before you this evening is because when the regulations were adopted, obviously cannabis production wasn't something we considered. So I thought out of an abundance of caution, we should make sure that the board felt comfortable that this was appropriate in an industrial zone. It is an existing building. It has been used for industrial purposes before. It has all the 3-phase power, et cetera, necessary to operate this facility. But again, I really think it's important for the board to confirm that this new use is perfectly appropriate in an industrial district. So that's why that's before us this evening. Do we have anybody here representing the applicant who would like to make a brief presentation or explanation of what you're doing? Have you signed in yet?
I have none.
Okay, we'll get you to sign in and introduce yourself, and then if you'll just give us a brief summary of what you're hoping to do there so the board understands what you're hoping to accomplish.
My name's Nick Healy, and I am here to hopefully get approved for the Tier 2 indoor cultivation license to operate at 452 Morse Road. Currently, I used to own a hemp farm in Connecticut, and I did quite well there. I had a couple opportunities to operate cannabis cultivation facilities, one for a big commercial outfit in Massachusetts, and one as a consultant in New York. I sold my farm in Connecticut, moved to New York to consult, and we've been doing quite well. Just a few months ago, we were actually the second strongest by revenue in the state. However, this is not something that is mine or for my family. And I am hoping that, Vermont, from what I can see, has a very great craft market and a lot of different aspects of agriculture. And in this specific field, it seems to stay true to, you know, all these other facets of what Vermont brings. And yeah, I'm hoping that I could be blessed with the opportunity to operate there, which I have tons of experience in navigating this highly regulated space and compliance, security, and all these areas are going to be a huge focus of mine.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions or from the board?
Yeah, I got a few concerns there. The building is 41,000 some square feet, right?
It's 8,000 square feet.
How many?
8,000?
8,000. The building?
Yes.
I thought the bylaw said it had to be 40,000 square.
No, that's the size of the lot. No, it's 8,000
Oh,
square
the
feet.
lot.
Yeah, yeah.
40,000.
But it's a
okay.
pre-existing, so it's
Right,
not,
right.
yeah.
Got that one mixed up, good enough. Some other notes here. Wondering, it's a controlled substance, and you can't sell a controlled substance out of the home, alcohol, so forth. And then they're putting this in as a planned residential development as a residence.
No, it's not put in as a PRD.
Is that on here? It is. No?
No, it's an industrial, it's
I know.
industrial use in an industrial zone.
Action required approval, disapproval of a.
Oh,
PRD.
that's incorrect. It's approval of the site, of the use. Yes, that's inaccurate.
It is,
Yeah,
right.
that's, you are correct. That's not appropriate.
But,
That's my error.
and again, okay, so the square footage of the plant area, what is that gonna be, sir?
I would be allowed to have 2,500 square feet of flowering canopy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be that roughly?
Yes, that's all I'll be allowed to have.
Oh, okay.
So there will be other space that'll be utilized for the drying process, the trimming process, the packaging, and storage
Mhm.
to then distribute to licensed dispensaries like
No,
the.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Got one more thing, though, this PRD thing.
Threw you
That's
off.
through my head.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's my error.
well, yeah, it's not a PRD then?
No, it's just an approving of the use in the industrial zone. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Spent a lot of time looking at it, and I found it.
That is-
they can't
that's
do
all
it.
on me.
You can't do a
Yeah.
PRD.
Yeah.
One of the things you can't do is
Yeah.
that.
You cannot.
industrial
You
place.
cannot.
You do a lot of
Absolutely.
stuff about that.
Yeah. Just to clarify, you won't be doing any retail sales out of this site. It's strictly wholesale.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're selling it and buying it, yeah.
I will just be able to sell it to a licensed retailer. I will not be able to sell it to a consumer.
No walking.
No,
No
there will
walk-in
be no
business.
retail at that site. It'll just be wholesale to licensed dispensaries
Okey-dokey.
or processors.
That's where you got me messed up. Okay.
That's all on me. Yeah.
Hey, you haven't made a mistake in what, 15, 20 years? Well, I just screwed something up.
Well, it still bothers me. I'm sorry I wasted your time on that. Yeah.
No problem.
What changes are you making to the outside of the building?
I don't plan to make many changes to the outside of the building unless required. I will have security. Yeah, I'll be required to have, motion detecting floodlights and, security cameras that will basically cover every area of the exterior of the building along with the interior of the building. Also have alarms. So, but other than that, cosmetically, I don't, is there something that you have in mind? Okay.
If you did make any changes, they'd have to comply with the regulations, but since you're not making any, it's a pre-existing building.
Yeah, I'm not putting a sign out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to belabor the point, but didn't I read somewhere that the building needs to be 40,000 square feet? No, not true.
And it also is pre-existing, so you don't, it's also a pre-existing building, so even if there was a requirement, it wouldn't impact the pre-existing building. Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question. Can you explain what is meant by tier 2? Is that state terminology as part of the license?
That is state terminology, which I probably didn't need to include on this application, but for your understanding, there's 5 tiers Tier 1 allows up to 1,000 square feet of plant canopy, and then the Tier 2 allows 2,500 square feet of plant canopy. And then
That's all that means.
that is all. And then 3 is a little bit larger, 4 is larger, 5 is larger. It goes up to 10,000 square feet, I believe.
And just remind me again, did you operate a similar facility where you used to be?
Currently, we have 90,000 square feet.
Doing similar?
Yes.
growing and-
We're in greenhouses and outdoor. Yeah.
Cap, you got any questions?
No, I don't, Dan. I'm pretty familiar with all of the regulations that the Cannabis Control Commission has put in place for these growing operations to be licensed. So I have full confidence that it's going to be highly and effectively regulated to operate well in our community.
Great. Thank you, Catherine.
Do we have any questions or comments from the people in the audience?
Sam, go up and sign in, yes, please.
So that's-
Sam Rosito, Bennington, Vermont. No, when
Have
I
you
saw
signed in?
excuse me?
Did you sign in?
Yes, I did. Before I came and sat down, I signed in. I know forward and backwards. I saw the Warren statement in the Bennington Banner about having cannabis being cultivated, and I'm here to learn about the situation. I surely thought that there would be somewhat of a diagram. I'm a little protective because I didn't know the size of the building, what Tier 2 was, and the hours of operation, the use of power, and whether there's going to be any emissions that are coming out of the building. Simply because Monument Plaza is not all that far in back of Price Chopper and Walmart. And I don't know how the wind currents are, but is the smell of cannabis going to be immunized into Monument Plaza is all my question.
So, Mr. Healy, you want to respond to that odor issue or question?
So, with my experience in cannabis, insulation plays a very strong factor in remediating the smell and reducing the smell for the public. This building is very well insulated. It's one of the major reasons why I'm planning to pursue this building for my cultivation license. The insulation plays a huge factor. Along with that, I have experience with air scrubbers and other pieces of equipment that can eliminate or reduce the smell, which it doesn't, outdoor or greenhouse would be, obviously it doesn't matter because I'm not pursuing those, but this is the best way to retain a smell and not let it into the public. In regards to emissions, everything that is, we're going to be using the current infrastructure in place, which is the AC systems. We're going to be also having some dehumidifiers which run on electricity. There is a 600 amp 3-phase power there. We're going to be wiring just about most items to tailor to the 3-phase to reduce our amperage draw. So reducing our carbon footprint is important, and being well insulated is going to drastically reduce that. Also, I think one of your questions was staff? No?
No, you answered most of my questions. I don't know the process of cultivating, so
Yeah.
I'm just here to learn.
Yeah. Well, it's typically about a 3-month process from whether you're a seed or your clone in through the flower phase and then into harvest. From there, you dry the material and trim the material if you seek to sell it in that fashion. Or some farmers will actually just freeze their product and they can sell it frozen. So, but yes, roughly a 3-month process.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else in the audience have any questions or comments? What would the board like to do? Oh,
Now maybe I'll sign in, haven't signed in, I will.
Can I
My
move
name is
to
Dixie Zenz,
approve?
and
So Catherine, we got Dixie Zenz is going to present some information, so sorry, there was a lull there. We weren't giving you the blow-by-blow, but go ahead.
anyway,
Mrs.
I am the owner of the building and also own Abacus up on Shields Drive. And this building on Morse Road was our second location. We started the incubator building in North Bennington before moving to Morse Road. Arkin Industries had the building built, and he was big on insulation, and as well as we were. So we had a very well insulated building. One of the nice features of the building is it's got in the floor heat, so you're not blowing air around. It's just a really nice temperature, although I think Nick is going to have some nice warm lights, so it probably isn't worried too much about heat, because that does create a little bit of heat, I guess, the lamps. But anyway, it's a great building, and I'm really, Nick has been very professional with me and has explained his experience and process, and I think it's a good fit for the building. Any questions on the building? Because I love that building. It was great for us. We just outgrew it, so.
Anyone have any questions?
Thank you.
With the board, any motions or anything?
Kat, did you want to make a motion?
Yes, I'll move to recognize this cannabis growing operation as an appropriate use under the existing industrial uses in this zone. Does that sound right
Yep.
for what we're looking for?
That sounds great. Perfect.
So Kat's made a motion to approve. Okay, Ron seconds. Let's vote.
And Catherine, you're in
Aye.
favor? Aye. Okay, great. So that's 4-0 in favor. Thank you very much. You've been approved. I will send you the appropriate paperwork, but best of luck in your new endeavor. So thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Thanks, everybody. Does the board have any other business? We will have a meeting in 2 weeks. So hopefully everybody can be there.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Okay.
All those in favor? All right, Catherine, we're adjourned. Thank you so much. I'm